we don't prioritize marriage, and because of that, look where everybody nasty ass is at right now.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I do is, so people say, you got your wife, you got your family. Why are you still here? Because I'm not always going to be here. My son is going to be here. He needs to marry somebody,
Yeah.
and I'd rather him marry the best of the best than whatever I can scrape from the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's even if we're already married, I look at it like anybody that's a soldier. Anybody that's a soldier that was in the military, you may have gotten deployed and you may have went to the war and you may have survived the war and came back, fully intact with all your toes, all your fingers, all your limbs, and you got your medals and stuff. And now you're good. You can rest on your laurels, but you might still have homeboys that's still deployed. You might still have homeboys that's POWs. You still give a damn about them. So it's like,
Right.
I might be a married guy and I might have the situation that's perfect for me. Same with you. But we got, I got 3 sons. You know what I'm saying? Who they gonna marry? You feel me? So I feel like it's still an obligation for me to constantly speak about these topics, because I genuinely believe that for the time I've been in this space, that I've had an impact, however small or not small. I feel like I've had an impact on the culture. You know what I'm saying? To a certain degree. So
No, you definitely have an impact.
yeah, so I feel like if I'm doing my little part, and you got the Kevin Samuels, you got the Anton Daniels, you got the lead attorneys, you got the Coach Greg Adams, you got the Steffes Cole, you got the Alpha Male Strategies, you got these countless guys that are constantly hammering at this. And keep in mind, we're having a bigger impact than television, because most television shows, they came on once a week. You know what I'm saying?
And you guys are on like every day.
We're talking about this shit every day. You know what I'm saying? Every day. So we're having a huge impact. And I remember I had a conversation with a few content creators back in the day, and I haven't always been the best at this, but I'm still mindful of it. Like I tell guys, like, there's a certain responsibility we have as content creators, because you may be talking your shit and you may think that you're talking to guys that's just like you, guys that's been around the block and back. They know how to take what you're saying with a level of discernment. They know how to take what you're saying with a grain of salt. But you also have impressionable young men that are watching.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful about what you say, because some of these dudes look up to us in a way that is similar to the way people look up to rappers, the way people look up to NBA players, So they may construct a whole life around one talking point you made.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that can be potentially dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have guys like Rollo Tomasi getting up on Fresh and Fit and telling young men they need to get a vasectomy. You know what I'm saying? So
now,
it's
I was gonna say, in fairness to Rolo, I understood what he was saying when he said that. Now, I wish he would. Now, granted, I'm trying to figure out. I guess he wanted to be a shock jock, in today's space, and just get everybody talking. Now, I listened because that's when the first time I really just finally found out who was Rollo Tomas. I always heard about him, never seen him. When I first saw him, I was like, okay, this guy looks and sounds like Chris Jericho. Who is this guy? But when he sent out that tweet, and when he was stating it, I understood what he was saying. The problem is, it's like messenger. Can you be a better messenger? Can you deliver a better message than that? But I guess if his idea was to get everybody talking, I guess mission accomplished.
Yeah, but you got to think about it like this. You understood what he was saying. You understood the context of what he was saying, because you're a grown man with a fully developed brain and already have structure in your life. But what is the 18-year-old thinking about that goofy shit he said? What is the 19-year-old? You see what I'm saying? That's when it becomes dangerous, because you got it. And I'm glad that freaking Destiny, of all people, Destiny and Sneeko, I'm glad they gave some pushback to it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that shit was crazy though.
And Frederick, just to give context, Rolo tweeted out 10 things for if you want to be a high value man. Here's the 10 things you got to do. It was not for Rolo Tomasi to say you have to get a vasectomy and all the extra stuff. What Rolo Tomasi is saying, how bad do you want to be a high value man? And if you ask anybody, they really want to beat it. So you really want to beat it that bad? You want to do it in this quick and this fast in the time span? Here's what you need to do. That's not necessarily true, but that's what he brought. But I will say this. This is probably the only thing I fought Kevin Samuels for. If, when it comes to high value, we don't have to spend too much time on this topic. I heard about high value before I came on YouTube, maybe a couple of times. I didn't care to look into it because that's just I wasn't there in my life to even worry about that.
Yeah.
But one thing I did notice is that was always supposed to be on a need-to-know basis. That was never meant for public consumption. That was not even meant for the barbershop. If I fault Kevin Samuels, one thing is for bringing that to a public platform. Now everybody is trying to find a way to be a high-value person, and the people that cannot make it to that status, what they try to do is add other qualifications to say I belong there. And I'll say, you guys, I wish you guys can just cut off your Wi-Fi connection. These are, and because I have it on here, where is it at? Because when this conversation comes up, like I said, I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. When this conversation comes up, I always tell people, me, that's the entry level into being a high value man. Now, once you get there, if you talk to somebody like Anton, he would say, man, you ain't making $250,000 a year, you're not high value. There's levels to this.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest fault with that's the only thing I would probably get on Kevin Samuels about. You should have never brought that to the public, because now you got dusty ass niggas thinking they're high value.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, in my personal opinion, Kevin Samuels' concept of the high value man is what BGS used to talk about when he talked about the masters of the universe. And these are the guys that get the women that they want because, you know, they're high-powered stockbrokers, or they're surgeons, or they're partners in a law firm. These are guys that make high six figures, if not millions of dollars. And, you know, really, to be truthfully honest, when you start talking about high value, the real definition of it, you know, it's a criteria that most men are not going to meet ever in their lifetime.
Right.
That's the unfortunate thing about it. It's no different than back in the day when, you know, Bill Cosby and the Cosby Show made it popular for everybody to go to college. And then everybody wanted to go to college, but everybody wasn't made for college. You still have to have people that are plumbers and electricians, and that's, I think that's one of the things we've gotten away from as a society, is that men, you know, there's nothing shameful about being a working class man. You know what I'm saying? That there's nothing shameful about being a dude that is an electrician, or, you know, these guys that we found out during the pandemic are essential workers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, no one, like during the pandemic or during times like that, the most valuable people aren't lawyers are executives or real estate moguls, or the most important people are the truck drivers, the garbage men, the electricians, the plumbers. If you had a leak, if you looked at your wall and your wall was wet because there was a leak in that wall, one of the pipes was leaking, I don't care how much of a handyman you are, you better not crack open that wall and think you're gonna fix that pipe by yourself. You better call a damn plumber. You know what I'm saying?
Expert. Yep.
You better call a plumber, because you're gonna have all kinds of damage. And you know, man, look, anybody that's a homeowner knows when that type of shit happen, you better call you an expert as quickly as you can, you know? So I don't know, this is why I got into an argument with a guy on Fight Club, because I was telling guys, you know, there's a professional tradesman crisis right now. And most people don't know that. For every 5 tradesmen that retire, and we're talking about carpenters, plumbers, electricians, basically guys that work with their hands that actually maintain the infrastructure of our society. For every 5 that retire, they're replaced by 2. And it's because we've sensationalized this idea of, you know, if you watch most TV shows, most guys work in freaking in these corporate offices and stuff, and they make it seem like on TV that mechanics don't make any money, that garbage men don't make any money, that electricians don't make any money. And it's a lie. It's a lie. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with these guys getting into these trades. And really, at the end of the day, they need to start doing it, because if you look around in most of our cities are starting to look like crap. We're heading towards a third world country simply because we don't even maintain the infrastructure of our freaking country the way we used to.
Right.